The day after releasing the MVP of my app, I got stuck on an issue that took a very long time, couple hours to debug in production. The reason being I didn't have any useful logs to figure out what was going on. My logs were terrible. Most of the time, if I had an issue, I would simply return the error, and then in the parent function, I would log the error and just say failed to create a session here. I didn't know the context of why it went wrong, who the user was, or any sort of information that could have possibly helped me figure out what was going on. It was obviously a terrible decision in hindsight, so I spent a while going through my code and writing contextual errors of where the error occurred and information related to the error to provide me more help when I'm debugging if there is a problem in the code. An example would be I would return a formatted string error such as SQL error get SS by ID for ID, and then I would add the ID of what went wrong, as in who it was, and I would write the error in as well. This tells me what function, as in the SQL query, had the problem and who the issue was for, and this was much better than before. Another technology I came across was OpenTelemetry, which is an observability framework and toolkit that helps you understand the internal systems in your applications using traces, logs, and metrics. I decided to do some reading on OpenTelemetry and realized that this might be a little overkill. So I decided to keep my logs in the application, and as my app grows, I'll probably add OpenTelemetry at some point, purely because I can see the scenarios that it's useful for, specifically for my fetch, import, and sync engines. So now with the logs sorted, I pretty much have a better view and understanding of my application. There's probably going to be an error at some point, and then I'll realize, oh shit, I need OpenTelemetry in the app. Now I've started working on the import feature for eBay. Currently, users can only export their eBay products to Shopify, but we can't do it vice versa, where Shopify users can export their products to eBay. So I'm working on that. But something I've learned during this period on working on this new feature is the usefulness of interfaces. So for the longest time, I didn't realize why interfaces were even useful. I knew of them, I just didn't know why people would use them. But now working on this feature, I've come to a realization that a lot of my integrations have common functionality. They should all be able to fetch data, they should all be able to store data, they should all be able to update data, and they should all be able to import the data to their specific platform. So instead of having a fetch eBay, fetch Shopify, fetch Amazon, it's specifically just a fetch function, and each integration has their own implementation of the interface. And when that clicked, all the gears started moving with how interfaces work. And I was like, oh, I can do this now, I can do this now, I can do this now. So it was a great learning opportunity, which I wouldn't have gotten, or it would have taken a lot longer to understand why interfaces were useful if I hadn't done this project. So that's all for now. I haven't really done a crazy amount because I barely have any time to work on this. Even though I want more time. But that's it. Bye.